The following program is sponsored. The opinions and statements made by the hosts and guests do not necessarily reflect the views of WBOB or its parent company, the Chesapeake Portsmouth Broadcasting Corporation.
WBOB AM 600 The Answer is proud to present Tula's Tips for Caregivers. Help is on the air with Tula Wooten, your source to go for resources and information to help you in this rewarding but sometimes challenging role. To participate in today's show, call 904-222-TALK. That's 904-222-8255. Now here's Tula.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tula's Tips for Caregivers. I am so delighted to be with you, my Northeast Florida and extended beyond caregiving audience. For those of you who don't know, I've been doing this radio show every Saturday since March of 2010. And it has been my delight to come to you every Saturday to care for caregivers. We know in America there are over 66 million caregivers. Most of us are working full-time. 70% of us are working full-time and going home and taking care of a loved one, typically an aging parent. And that's the shoes I walk in. And so it's in this role that I come to you every Saturday to offer you some encouragement, some support, and resources to help you. It's not easy to do, particularly if you're working full-time and you're trying to juggle all the responsibilities that you have, trying to be a good employee and still be a wonderful, loving, caring daughter or son or uncle or nephew or whatever to your loved one. So today, I'm really happy to have with me two guests from Elmcroft Assisted Living. They have been sponsors for the radio show since day one, and I really do appreciate the support that Elmcroft Assisted Living has given me. I want to welcome today Lynn Ford, who is the Community Relations Director from Elmcroft, and Rachel Waxer, who is the Lifestyle or Healthy Lifestyle Director at Elmcroft. I'm so delighted to have you guys here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Tula. We're happy to be here.
Well, I appreciate your support. I couldn't do this show without the support of my sponsors, so thank you so much. You know, I want to talk a little bit today. We're going to talk about Christmas gifts for caregivers, and in that sphere, we're going to talk about respite because I think that's an important gift you could give a caregiver. But let's talk a little bit about Elmcroft first, okay? Because we know that in our area, there are lots of assisted living facilities. Actually, it's growing in the nation. We all know this by leaps and bounds as our aging community, our aging population is so rapidly growing. Tell me a little bit about Elmcroft and, Lynn, what you feel differentiates it from some of the other assisted livings.
And that's a really good point, Tula, because with so many choices, I ask the families to pay attention when they walk in the front door. What is that atmosphere like? What does that community feel like to them first? Because each community they're going to go into is going to have a different feel. Some are going to feel more clinical. Some are going to feel larger. Some are going to feel smaller. Some are going to maybe be brand new. Others are going to be more established like ourselves. And that's important because they want that feeling to be the right feeling and atmosphere for their family and their loved one. When they come into Elmcroft, because we've been there for 15 years, we have some history, to say the least, and we have an environment that is warm, it's friendly, it's very family-like, and that's the feeling that they get. They sometimes tell me that as they walk in the door before I have a chance to really point it out to them. They go, oh, it feels so warm and cozy here. It just feels different. And that's important because we're smaller, too. When you come into Elmcroft, it's not overwhelming for their loved one, for their families when they come in. It's not so large that you feel like you're going to be lost and can't get around because they're coming maybe from a home environment, and coming into a smaller community really helps to feel like that bonding and that sense of community.
You know, I'm going to have to agree with you there because I've been in and out a bunch of times. You guys know that I frequent Elmcroft, and it does have a very home-like, cozy, I'm going to call it sweet atmosphere, and I think that really comes from the top, from your wonderful leader, Janice, who I'm sorry couldn't be with us today, but she does really orchestrate or facilitate that, if you will, because she's such a caring, compassionate person, and I really think that does trickle down through all the organizations. I can tell, Rachel, you wanted to add something.
I did want to add something. First, Tula, your show and what you do for our community, and just helping others. And we want to be a part of that as well. And Elmcroft and helping with these tips and the tips that we give our community is just because it is, just like you mentioned earlier, it's overwhelming when you work full time. Where do you go? Where do you get help? And I want our community to know Elmcroft is not just an assisted living community. We're here to help anybody in this community because finding, and usually most people do not prepare for this.
Right.
It comes very fast, very quickly. And I've witnessed it many, many times, and I've been in the industry 8 years now, going on 9. Mm-hmm. And families make decisions very quick, but knowing where you can go and where you can get help. And I want our community to know not only are we there to service our residents, we're here still to help everybody in the community finding that right place, whether it's Elmcroft or some other place. And for me, the biggest tip I want to leave today for our community is when that does happen, it is so hard, and we are a community with so many communities. And I really tell people, take the time when you go in, when you tour a community or you go visit a community, take the time to spend time with the directors of that community. And that's usually your executive director, your nursing services, your social director, your dining services, and your maintenance. A building does not take care of your loved one.
Right.
They do not. A building does not do it.
Right.
It is the people inside it. And in our industry, there is a lot of turnover. You want to know how long people have been there. How long have they been in the industry? And that's where you want to spend your time, and to know how you connect with the values of your loved one, with the values of the people that are going to be caring for your loved one. So we are an open door to help in any way we can for this community, because that's what we're there for. And finding there's many people that like our community because it is small, mm-hmm. and it is so loving. And it gives us a chance not only to know our residents, but I can tell you every name of every family member. I know who likes what, to come out to what, and it gives me the opportunity to do such wonderful things. So if you like that kind of atmosphere, we're the one. But there's a lot of people that may be more active and want a larger community, more roaming spaces. But everyone is different, and finding that right fit for your loved one is the goal of Elmcroft and our staff. So we're here to support anybody in this community.
And that's the sense I've had all throughout the years. And I love it that, your goal is to find the right place, to find the right support. Absolutely. For a senior, again, whether it be Elmcroft or not. It is like a personality match.
It is a personality, and finding that, and that's where the joy comes in. And just like Lynn, our community relations, and helping that, and just people that just start out, because it is just a massive, overwhelming decisions that you have to make. But knowing that you can come and talk to someone sincerely that's going to help you, and I can tell you, hands down, that our building, anybody that walks through that door, and you don't need an appointment, you walk through that door anytime, someone is going to help you. We will get the right person too.
Yeah. Well, I love that about you guys. Anything else you want to say that might differentiate Elmcroft from some of the other assisted living facilities in town?
Well, as Rachel said, one of the things that we have is the experience. We've been there as Elmcroft for about 15 years, and it takes time to earn a really good reputation. It takes families that appreciate what you do over the years. And so we have managers and staff that have been there since the building opened. And we have managers and caregivers who've been there 9-10 years. That says a lot, as Rachel mentioned.
Longevity really speaks volumes.
And not only, just to interject, but Lynn, we have residents. One of our residents has been there 14 years. She worked at Channel 4.
My goodness.
We have others that have been there 8 years, 7 years.
Absolutely.
And that shows what happens in our building.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it really does.
All right, the music's telling us we're going to go into a sponsor break. You're listening to Tula's Tips for Caregivers on WBOB, AM 600 and FM 101.1. We'll be right back.
Tula's Tips for Caregivers is proudly sponsored by AgeWell Institute at Baptist Health, by the AARP, by Elmcroft Assisted Living and Memory Care, and by Claim Medic.
Hi, this is Tula, and I'm here to talk to you about Baptist's new Age Well Institute. Are you caring for a loved one who's 65 or older? Are you a boomer like myself who's caring for a parent? And perhaps your parent has been experiencing some decline in their overall health. Let me highly recommend to you the Baptist Age Well Institute. They have the only real geriatrician here in Northeast Florida who is able to look at the whole person. Their comprehensive approach includes a nurse, a doctor, a social worker, a pharmacist, a dietitian. They have their own physical therapy there. They can work with folks with memory disorders. My goal is to help you, the caregiver, find an organization that can care for your loved one who's 65 or older. I take my own parents there, and I highly recommend the AgeWell Institute at Baptist. Please give them a call at 904-202-4243. Again, that's 904-202-4243. You'll be so glad you did.
Are you burdened with a loved one's medical bills and confused about who and how much to pay? Are there medical claims that have been denied? When you work with Claim Medic, they review your bills for accuracy every month and deal directly with your insurance company to make sure you receive every benefit that you pay for and never pay a bill that you don't owe. At Claim Medic, they offer free audits of up to 3 years of past medical bills to identify any past billing errors and recover overpayments you may have made. And their monthly bill review service will ensure that future bills are accurate before you pay. With Claim Medic as your personal medical claim specialist, you can focus on what matters most, the health and comfort of your loved one, and rest easy knowing that their medical bills are managed by experts who care. Ready to start? Call 888-988-2985 to speak with a specialist or visit claimmedic.com. That's 888-988-2985. With Claim Medic on your side, you'll never pay a medical bill you don't owe.
George, I got the job. Thanks, I'm so excited. They hired me on the spot right after the interview. It was that book I bought from Amazon, From the Interview to the Paycheck by Fred Haley. The book really taught me something. It helped me to think about what the boss wants. Then it helped me with answers that show that I can do the job. I can tell they were impressed when I introduced myself. I just followed the simple outline from the Interview to the Paycheck book, and I know I won the job with my first 90 days plan the book recommended. They said no one else had ever been so prepared. You should get the book. It's on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle. It's worth it if you want to get hired. Just search for From the Interview to the Paycheck by Fred Haley. Do it now.
Have you read the new book, Love Stories and Timeless Tips yet? It's by our own Tula Wooten with Tula's Tips for Caregivers. Tula is a caregiver too, as well as an expert on caregiving. You can get it in paperback or on Kindle at Amazon.com. The book is filled with touching stories of caregivers taking care of their loved ones. Each chapter has helpful ideas that we all can use. I love that Tula included a Tula's tip with each story. Her message to caregivers is clear. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of your loved one. This is a beautiful book for all caregivers to read, whether you're a part-time, full-time, or long-distance caregiver, or someone receiving care. You should get the book today. Just go to Amazon.com. Search for Love Stories and Timeless Tips by Tula Wooten. And now let's return to Tula's Tips for Caregivers. Once again, here's Tula.
Welcome back, everyone. If you've just joined me, my two guests today are Lynn Ford and Rachel Waxer from Elmcroft Assisted Living. Again, so thankful for their support through the years. And we're talking a little bit about Elmcroft and what differentiates it, because all assisted livings are certainly not the same. And when you're looking for some assisted living facility for an aging loved one, you really need to know what you're looking for. You need to know what type of environment you're looking for, and have a checklist, really, of things that you need to ask the director, the dining services person, the recreational activities person. There's just so many different things that need to be considered. But we are talking a little bit about Elmcroft today because I'm happy to salute them. They've been here about 15 years now and have such a solid reputation. And, you know, you didn't mention earlier that y'all have just received your third in a row deficiency-free survey. I think that's great news, and so hats off to you guys for doing that. Lynn, I'm going to ask you, why do you think you've been able to maintain such high standards in the assisted living community? Because we know that it's not easy.
You're absolutely right about that. I wanted to mention also, in addition to the deficiency-free survey, which we're very, very proud of, because that measures so many full areas of your community, everything that they could want to inspect and have access to through the state agency, they have that access. And so it's an open book when they come in. And so to have that third in a year deficiency-free survey is something we're very proud of. But we also just found out that we got a Best of Senior Living Award, again, for the third year in a row. This is generated from surveys that leading placing agency does with families that tour. And they survey them to see what their experience is like and also if their family member moved in. And for the third year in a row, we are in the top 1% to 2% of communities nationwide. That is a very high honor. That's something that we've worked, again, really hard for. And I think it maybe has some roots in some of the things that we have as a strong foundation of values. About 10 years or so ago, Elmcroft called all their executive directors and administrators together and asked them to come up with a mission statement and to outline the values that they felt were vitally important in creating a culture of excellence for our seniors that come to live with us, as well as their family and our employees. So I wanted to just kind of mention those a little bit, because some of these values and behaviors that we look for, you also find in family caregivers, and you're looking for some of the same values and integrity. Our mission statement, for instance, it reads as, Elmcroft Senior Living is dedicated to enriching the lives of the individuals who live and work with us by responding to their unique needs and universal desire for dignity and respect. That's a really powerful statement when you think about it, because each family and their loved ones have their unique needs. But it does start with recognizing them as individuals and understanding the need for dignity and respect. What we look for in our employees, again, would be common values to all caregivers: trust and integrity, their compassion, their accountability, and the respect and humility that we do every day as we take care of others that we love and we respect them, and we want to be that compassionate, loving, accountable person that they rely on. And so those are the things that we look for in our employees, too, and I think that's helped earn us the reputation that we've garnered over the years.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you just said.
Yeah, and I wanted to add on what makes us, I think, different in many ways, and Lynn touched on a couple things. But when our families come in and when they choose Elmcroft as their loved one's home, it's not just the home for their loved one. It is a home for the family. Mm-hmm. I spend time with the families because every family is different. Contentment is the goal. What kind of connection do you want with the environment? And I'm going to give you a couple examples, because as I meet with the families when they move in, it's just, how do you want to engage with your loved one? The doors are open 24/7, coming and going. I tell my families, if they're having a rough night and you need to come and have a pizza in the middle of the night and go to one of the rooms and do something, that's what we want you to do. We have families. I have one family that a loved one comes in every morning because he loves sharing the morning with his mother and pouring coffee. Wow. I have another resident that would do art classes. Her mother didn't do art, but she was a supervisor, but that gave the connection that she needed with her mom. Mm-hmm. And I can go through just examples. Every Wednesday you come in our building, we have a resident and her son and daughter-in-law, they come in and volunteer. So making the connections, it is their home. It is your home as much as it is for your loved one. And when they feel that, they know that. That is the family environment that is unlike anything I have seen, that has been grown through the years. And I am so proud to be a part of that, because when they come in and they feel that openness, that's their home. They're coming in. That's mom or dad's or whoever, that lives there, and it's their home to use the house however they need to. We work with them, with different parties, different things that are needed, but to see the families, how they come in and service as well. And they give of their time volunteering and being a part of the community as well. And that's what just joins us all together as a family, because we're all there as workers, caregivers, family members to take care of that loved one, to give them the best life ever. And that's what really sets us apart.
I really have experienced that. It's one big extended family.
It is.
The family members of the residents are just as part of the community there as the residents themselves.
Absolutely.
And you don't get that feel in every place that you go in. So, and you know, to me anyway, that's more important really than some of the other, some of the other big facilities with the fancy chandeliers. Not that y'all don't have some of that, because you do. It's a beautiful facility.
Yep, it is beautiful.
It's beautiful. But it's the people, like you said, not the bricks and mortar, not the chandeliers, not the paintings on the wall. It's the people. It's the family atmosphere that make it. And you know that I've recommended Elmcroft to several people, and actually a good friend of mine's mother just died there a few days ago, and she was there for about 3 years. So, and they were very, very happy. So I'm happy to always recommend Elmcroft just because of the experiences of people that I've placed. It's a beautiful facility. So, you know, we're talking a little bit now, because it is the Christmas season, about what are some things that you could give a caregiver. And so I thought we'd talk a little bit about respite care and what it is, and how it can make holidays a little easier for the caregiver.
Well, you're absolutely right. Caregivers have a lot of challenges day in and day out, as we know. But during the holidays, I think the just trying to fit it all in, and how you can be careful not to overbook yourself and overwhelm yourself by doing too much. And this also can add stress to your loved one that you're caring for. So trying to accomplish all the activities, from the shopping to the decorating and the family traditions and traveling, that's presents an additional challenge during the holidays. So where a community like Elmcroft can be a resource to you is by providing respite care. And not everyone knows about respite care. Respite care is a often temporary short-term stay, sometimes turns into a longer stay, but it's a temporary stay that helps the caregiver take time to decompress and set aside their responsibilities to some of the full-time care for a period of time, ranging anywhere from maybe a week to a month. But this also is a real benefit for their loved one, because during the holidays, it can not only give the caregiver more time for travel and outside social activities, but it allows their senior to be in a place where their care needs can be met. But they also get to experience the socialization with their peers, the holiday activities, the entertainment, the dining services, all in a loving, caring atmosphere. And it gives you, as the caregiver, such a peace of mind to know that you can go and do the things that you need to do, and your loved one is having a great time where they are too.
You know, I think your point is valid, that a lot of caregivers don't know that assisted livings, most of them will take people short term for a respite, for a break for the caregiver.
Absolutely.
And again, I know people who've placed their loved ones at Elmcroft for just that, for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and you work with them to make sure that you're giving them the best plan of care and the best quality of life that you can for them while they're there. I think that's a real special opportunity to do that. And the other thing is it only a great break for the caregiver that they need. Let's face it, sometimes the care receiver, if you will, the caree needs a break from the caregiver.
Absolutely.
Do you want to say anything about
Tula,
that?
I do, because this was a perfect point, and this was on my mind driving in. This is the holiday season, and it is stressful.
Yeah.
And to all of your listeners, if you need a break for an hour or two, you call Elmcroft, 904-519-9300. I have entertainment. We have all kinds of activities, choirs, things going on at night. And if you want your loved one to come for an hour or two, for you to go shop or something, please call us. Let us help you. Let us help you.
I think that's a great gift to give yourself as respite for yourself.
As respite.
Respite. We're going to talk about that a little bit more when we come back. You're listening to Tula's Tips for Caregivers on WBOB, AM 600 and 101.1 FM. We'll be right back.
Hugh Hewitt, Ed Dean, Laura Ingram, Dennis Prager, The Savage Nation, Mark Levin, WBOB, AM 600. The Answer.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Defense Secretary Ash Carter says the president has approved an expansion of U.S. involvement in Syria. Carter announced today that he's sending 200 more troops to accelerate the push on the Islamic State's self-declared capital of Raqqa for their so-called caliphate. They'll join 300 troops already authorized in the effort. Donald Trump's transition team is dismissing a report that the CIA believes Russia tried to intervene in the U.S. election because it wanted Trump to win. The Washington Post, citing anonymous U.S. officials, reported that the CIA has concluded that Russia hacked into Democratic officials' email accounts specifically to help Trump win the presidency. The president-elect's transition team says that comes from the same people that said Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. The team says in a statement that the election is over, and now it's time to move on. This is SRN News.
Badcock Home Furniture and More in McClenny is ready for the holidays. The pre-Black Friday sale is going on now with up to $900 off mattress sets, up to $700 off electronics, up to $600 off sofas and 5-piece bedroom sets, up to $500 off entertainment centers, appliances, 5-piece dining rooms, and youth sets. No credit refused. Ask about 24 months interest-free. Pick up a flyer in the store for dozens of other savings in every department. Whether it's new furniture or gifts like electronics, you can get it in time for the holidays at Badcock Home Furniture and More. Now open 7 days a week at 701 South 5th Street, McClenny. The pre-Black Friday sale is going on now. Call 259-2275. 259-2275.
They say silence is golden, but duct tape is silver. Hey, this sale's too hot to keep silent about. Woody Folsom Ford has over 600 new Fords on the ground or on the way, and we're out to sell 300 of them by year end. Woody's deal and select new 16 Expeditions at savings up to $14,000.
Come on and talk to us.
Truck buyers, select 16 Ford F-150 XLT Crew Cab 4x4s. Save up to $10,000.
Hey, we've been dealing select 16 F-350 and F-450 work trucks and cabin chassis, flatbeds and service bodies, saving up to $10,000 on them bad boys, too. Better get to Baxley where the Ford store is rocking.
Rocking and rolling, folks. Talk to us and see how good it feels to get a Woody Folsom Ford deal. Or, hey, ask about our 0 for 72 offers on select models. Better get to Baxley and Woody Folsom Ford, where cars just flat cost less.
Hey, there ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Talk to me.
This hour on WBOB, sponsored by Baker Glass.
Hi, this is Mac with Baker Glass, where we use our more than 32 years of experience to provide a complete glass service to all of our customers and a clear choice for you. See for yourself at BakerGlassInc.com. That's BakerGlassInc.com. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hugh Hewitt, Ed Dean, Laura Ingram, Dennis Prager, The Savage Nation, Mark Levin, WBOB, AM 600. The Answer.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Travel Camp RV. Visit Travel Camp for store-wide year-end RV savings at Beach and Southside. Look for their second location on Blanding, a mile north of 295. Opening January 1st. Click travelcamp.com.
Stuck in traffic? WBOB has The Answer.
Crash over there in Blanding Boulevard again. Wells Road, second crash they've had there this morning, so be careful in that area. Going to be mostly sunny and breezy today. Looking for a high about 60. 20% chance of showers starting at tonight and lasting through about Monday. With low tonight about 52, high tomorrow about 72. It's currently 59 degrees at WBOB AM 600. The Answer.
And now let's return to Tula's tips for caregivers. Once again, here's Tula.
Welcome back, everyone. My guests today are Lynn Ford and Rachel Waxer from Elmcroft. We've been talking a little bit about Elmcroft assisted living and what it is and how it's beautiful and the care is superb and how it's different than a lot of other assisted living facilities. And at the end of the last segment, we talked a little bit about respite care and explained that they take people short term. If you need a break, if you've been taking care of a loved one and it's the holiday season now and you are overwhelmed, with all the extra responsibilities that come during the holidays, on top of perhaps working and taking care of your loved one, think about respite. Think about calling Elmcroft and placing your loved one there. Your loved one will thank you for it because it'll be a good experience for them. They'll have other people to socialize with, activities to engage in, people who are just really caring and fun to be with, and the break will be good for both of you. Lynn, tell us if one of my listeners wants to arrange this through Elmcroft, how do they go about that?
Just give us a call, and we'll talk about what we have available. And generally, the way that it works is on a daily rate plus a small admission fee. And to give you kind of a scope of what that daily rate might be, is probably around $145 to $150 a day. Includes absolutely everything we're doing, all the meals, the activities, any outside activities that we're doing, just everything. It's total turnkey. Then, of course, the furniture is everything's in the room. It's all ready to go. All they need to do is just bring their clothes and their personal items. But again, just give us a call because we'll see, what your time frames are that you need and how we can best accommodate that.
It's kind of like a little mini vacation for both of you.
It is.
That's how I would see it. And when the resident gets there, like you mentioned, there are lots of things they can participate in. I want to take this opportunity to talk about your Christmas party that's coming up this Sunday. Both of you tell me about that.
Okay. I'll start, and Rachel, please feel free to jump in. But this is our 15th annual Winter Wonderland. That is just a tradition in and of itself. We have so many things that happen with that. We have horse and carriage rides to the neighborhood of Timberland Park. Some of their residents and families come and join us. It's really open to everyone. Our families, of course, and residents and our referral partners and all the folks that we work with and community partners, as well as I mentioned, the neighborhood and anyone who's thinking about coming to Elmcroft or any other community, we welcome you to come. We do the horse and carriage rides. We have a Santa visit, so if you have children or grandchildren, bring them too. We have music, wonderful food. It is just a fun time. And Rachel's going to talk about a little bit about another component of it called the Festival of Wreaths, which is an auction of wreaths that are donated to us for the express purpose of raising funds for a program called the Second Wind Dreams. So again, that's this Sunday from 5 to 7. Give us a call, 519-9300. Love to have you come over and experience what a wonderful tradition that has become at Elmcroft.
It's a fun, big Christmas party.
It is.
If you need a Christmas party to go to, it is huge.
It's the party of the city, and it is just the music, the entertainment that we have, the buffet. It's got food, the carriage rides. Santa Claus will be there, just like Lynn mentioned. And we would love to have you. It gives you a chance to come in, meet the people in our building, and get to see what we truly are as a family. You will experience unlike anything you've ever experienced before. And again, all you have to do is just call us, let us know you want to come. We can accommodate. And it's if you want to get in the holiday spirit and for your loved one to get them out and to see something and to experience what it's like to be in an assisted living environment, this is the day to do it on.
It's a great opportunity
yes,
to do it because
is.
you can get a really good feel for the people there and the sweet, I'm going to say that word again, and fun environment that Elmcroft is. I've been to a few of your parties and can remember dancing.
Oh, lots of dancing.
Lots of dancing.
Lots of dancing.
And lots of love.
Lots of love and lots of good food. And the carriage ride, people in the whole Elmcroft area come, not just, residents and families of Elmcroft Assisted Living, but from that whole neighborhood area.
The whole neighborhood comes. And again, just in the community, if this is on your heart, on your mind, and something that you need to look at and research, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to see, witness, and get facts and learn a lot about assisted living.
It's a great event. I'm so happy you guys still do that every year. The wreaths, have you got wreaths on all your doors?
We have wreaths, so many wreaths. They're all unique. They're all beautiful. Many of them are handmade and donated by, again, referral partners and different organizations, as well as families that make and donate our wreaths. It's really quite fun. It becomes quite competitive amongst the staff, amongst the family, amongst visitors coming in. It's fun right down to the wire until we take them down Sunday afternoon at the end of the event, and we award everything. But it's just wonderful, because if you need a wreath or if you want to give one as a gift, this is a great time to do it. Come by and tour. Last count, probably 15 or 20 wreaths hanging everywhere I can find a wall to hang them on, or a door to hang them over.
I remember I bid on them before when I've been there and come away with some beautiful wreaths. It's a really fun thing to do.
Yeah.
The whole wreath program is so wonderful. And what we do is the wreaths are donated to us, and anybody can bid on them. And like Lynn just said, at the end of the evening, the highest bidder, they'll be announcing that. And next segment we're going to be talking about, but the funds that are raised by this event, the funds go into our Second Wind Dream program, and it helps us to continue to do a dream a month for a resident, which we're going to be talking about shortly. So if anybody wants to be involved, whether monetary, you can drop off a donation, stop in if you want to bid on a wreath. We appreciate the community and any support, and just come in and you'll be very, very much welcome. We look forward to having you.
Such a wonderful, happy atmosphere.
Yes.
You know, it's a great way to kick off the holiday season, listeners. If you haven't yet, go to the party there at Assisted Living this Sunday from 5 to 7, did you say?
5 to 7,
From 5 to 7. I know I have it on my calendar. It's a fun way for me to get in the spirit every year. But speaking of Christmas, we've talked about respite being a great idea of something for caregivers to receive as a gift. Do you guys think of anything else that if you were a caregiver, you think, you could advise someone to give a caregiver a gift of?
Boy, I think of a spa right off the bat.
You're my kind of girl. You're my kind of girl. Anything that brings relaxation, because caregiving can be stressful. So anything that can help a caregiver relax, de-stress a little bit, I think is a great gift. And so a massage is a great gift for a caregiver. And I think Santa knows that that's on the top of my list for this year, because most of you know that I do work full-time, and I'm a caregiver for both of my parents. And it can be kind of challenging sometimes. Sometimes it feels like there's not enough me time, and you have to make it.
Exactly.
So scheduling a massage is a way of making.
But for caregivers, I want to add something. Caregivers, because sometimes we as caregivers, we hold everything in us, and we keep going and going and going. And we are the last ones that we take care of.
Right.
We are the last ones we take care of. This is the holiday season. This is the time to let that go. Your family, your friends, they want to know, whether it's just having an hour for you to have a break from taking care of that loved one. I know that is the best gift you can give sometimes.
It is.
Go get a coffee. Let me just come and sit. Let me read. Let me do something for you. But we as caregivers, it is so hard for us to ask for help. It is so hard. So hard.
It's like it's ingrained in us that we have to do it all ourselves.
Exactly.
And it's so ridiculous, because none of us are supermen or superwoman.
Exactly.
I don't wear a cape.
No.
And no caregivers that I know do. It's hard. So reaching out and asking for help not only will bless you, it bless the person who's given it.
Absolutely. And some of those, and it's no money, it's not anything monetary, and just let me give you a break. And don't be afraid to ask for that help, because there's so many people around you, trust me, that I don't care who you are out there, there's people, if you just ask for it. Do not be afraid to ask for that help.
And don't be afraid to take it.
Exactly.
Good point.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't know why anybody does. The gift of time in this day and age, where we are all so ridiculously busy, the gift of time
is the best gift
is the best you can give. It doesn't have to be monetary, like you said. It can be coming and sitting with you, sitting with the person you take care of. It can be taking yourself out for a cup of coffee. Take the caregiver and you out for a cup of coffee. Just time, one-on-one, chatting. How are you? Caring. When people take the time to do that is when it makes such a big difference to me.
Amen.
All right. You're listening to Tula's Tips for Caregivers on AM 600 and FM 100.1, 101.1. Did I say that right? We'll be right back after the sponsor break.
Tips for Caregivers is proudly sponsored by Agewell Institute at Baptist Health, by the AARP, by Elmcroft Assisted Living and Memory Care, and by Claim Medic.
Hi, everyone. This is Tula again, and I'm here to tell you about the Agewell Institute at Baptist Health. They're located in the San Marco area. I've been taking my own parents there for about 2 years now. Dr. Lance, the geriatrician on staff, has done remarkable things for both my parents and for me, the caregiver. They have great information, advice, and resources to help me. Dr. Lance and her team of social workers, dietitians, nurses, therapists, and the pharmacist have been so instrumental in helping me keep my own parents independent and living in their own home where they want to be. If you're looking for someone to either supplement the care that your primary physician is giving to your loved one who's 65 or older, or to perhaps become their primary care physician, I really encourage you to call the Agewell Institute at Baptist. Their number is 904-202-4243. Again, that's 904-202-4243.
Are you burdened with a loved one's medical bills and confused about who and how much to pay? Are there medical claims that have been denied? When you work with Claim Medic, they review your bills for accuracy every month and deal directly with your insurance company to make sure you receive every benefit that you pay for and never pay a bill that you don't owe. At Claim Medic, they offer free audits of up to 3 years of past medical bills to identify any past billing errors and recover overpayments you may have made. And their monthly bill review service will ensure that future bills are accurate before you pay. With Claim Medic as your personal medical claims specialist, you can focus on what matters most, the health and comfort of your loved one, and rest easy knowing that their medical bills are managed by experts who care. Ready to start? Call 888-988-2985 to speak with a specialist or visit claimmedic.com. That's 888-988-2985. With Claim Medic on your side, you'll never pay a medical bill you don't owe.
George, I got the job. Thanks, I'm so excited. They hired me on the spot right after the interview. It was that book I bought from Amazon, From the Interview to the Paycheck by Fred Haley. The book really taught me something. It helped me to think about what the boss wants. Then it helped me with answers that show that I can do the job. I can tell they were impressed when I introduced myself. I just followed the simple outline from the Interview to the Paycheck book, and I know I won the job with my first 90 days plan the book recommended. They said no one else had ever been so prepared. You should get the book. It's on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle. It's worth it if you want to get hired. Just search for From the Interview to the Paycheck by Fred Haley. Do it now.
Have you read the new book, Love Stories and Timeless Tips yet? It's by our own Tula Wooten with Tula's Tips for Caregivers. Tula is a caregiver too, as well as an expert on caregiving. You can get it in paperback or on Kindle at Amazon.com. The book is filled with touching stories of caregivers taking care of their loved ones. Each chapter has helpful ideas that we all can use. I love that Tula included a Tula's tip with each story. Her message to caregivers is clear. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of your loved one. This is a beautiful book for all caregivers to read, whether you're a part-time, full-time, or long-distance caregiver, or someone receiving care. You should get the book today. Just go to Amazon.com. Search for Love Stories and Timeless Tips by Tula Wooten. And now let's return to Tula's Tips for Caregivers. Once again, here's Tula.
Welcome back, everyone. We've had a great time on the show today. I've got Rachel and Lynn here with me, and they're from Elmcroft Assisted Living. We've been talking a little bit about what sets them apart, a little bit about respite and what it is and what we want for Christmas. I hope everybody out there who knows me has been listening. What we want for Christmas, because I have been a pretty good girl this year. I'm just saying. So now let's talk about Second Wind Dreams. You mentioned it earlier in our earlier segment, and you mentioned that the money raised from the wreaths go to Second Wind Dreams. Rachel, what is Second Wind Dreams?
Oh, I love sharing this. I'm very, very passionate about our Second Wind Dream program. Elmcroft Assisted Living has been a part of the National Second Wind Dream program. It is an organization that helps fulfill dreams for our seniors. And each and every month, Elmcroft chooses a resident, and we create and make a dream happen. And I take that very personally because I know my residents, And every dream is different. It's not in any order how it happens. Some are planned as surprises. Dreams can be small. They can be big. We've had different states. The state of Virginia has helped me do a dream. The state of California has helped me do a dream based on some careers of some of our residents. Channel 4 helped me with one of a dream here locally. So each and every one is different. I'm excited to say next Monday we're doing a dream at Kuhn Flowers is helping us because one of our residents actually owned a floral shop here, the Carousel in Arlington, for 42 years.
I remember that.
And
cool.
She actually did my wedding flowers. We talk about that. It's so cool. But Kuhn, she actually worked with Kuhn's and helped the original owners open Kuhn Flowers. They are going to help us recognize her. It is going to be phenomenal this Monday. So each and every one is so different.
It's personal.
It is personal, and that's the whole thing. It's because the size, and again, back to the size and how our families are so much apart. And when we do these dreams, everybody is included in them. But I do want to take a moment because I want to extend our thanks to the city of Jacksonville. So I'm going to take 2 minutes here because in my heart...
Please do.
Every time I do a dream and I go out into the community, whether it's with restaurants or whatever, I'm there because it ties into that person personally. And there's not a place in the city of Jacksonville that I've not gone out and talked about, I'm here for a particular reason to help a dream come true. And I'm just going to run off just some names because in my heart, I just want somewhere in the air for people to hear how wonderful this community is. Publix does flowers for every dream for me. I think I'm on my 48th dream right now that I'm doing. But Publix, Belk's, Knopf & Sons Binderies helped us produce and publish a memoirs on a resident. Longhorns, Home Depot. We have the airport help me. Harley Davidson, Hooters, Blue Cypress has helped me. Golf Course, Seasons 52, Tinseltown Movies, the Jacksonville Zoo, the Humane Society has helped, the Jacksonville Symphony, the Florida Theater, Aw Shucks, Cole Haynes, Parsons, Channel 4 has helped us, Mudville, a lot of our community partners such as Avante, Hospice Community, Ann Haven has helped me with many things. The Times Union has helped me. The state of California, Virginia. It just goes on and on and on. And each dream is so special and so custom to each and every one. And I will give you some examples. One that was the state of California. We had a resident who worked for the DOT, Department of Transportation, for 40 plus years. Wow. I started with a Google search. And that Google search led me on to other people. And I found this wonderful woman, Sherry Mannering. And Sherry Mannering and I have become close friends. She's actually coming to visit. We're very excited and looking forward to having her. She was so excited about what the Second Wind Dream program did. They sent so many things to recognize this man and what he did in the state of California. And she went over and beyond, and she helped connect the people that there was a retirement social group that he was a part of. He reached out to them, and many of them actually thought that Earl had passed away. We reconnected him with people that they did not know where he was at. It was just an amazing, amazing dream. Another one was the state of Virginia with one of our residents, worked with Hercules, who did ammunition for our military. And he was very high up in the chain, but that company had since been sold. But through Google and many, many people, I found a military man that was so excited to be a part. He actually researched his history working with Hercules. He found in their magazines back in 1956 where he was highlighted. His family had never seen these articles. Wow. He went and had those published and sent to us. So each and every dream is so personal, so different, and it's just amazing to see how it comes together. And I'm proud to say that Elmcroft last year, we were recognized nationally for what we do and how we do it. And each and every dream that we do, I take photographs. To me, the best gift I can give my residents is seeing their loved ones have a great time. And I take that into the Second Wing Dream program. So they get an album that starts with the beginning to the end of that day. And it's so wonderful to see because it not only shows the loved one and their family, it shows Elmcroft's commitment to our residents, and it shows the community and how they just take such a part in what we do. I started this year, and I found something that was close to my heart that I've added to many of our dreams. And I have to tell you, Jacksonville also offers the most wonderful musicians that have hearts beyond. I can't even begin to tell you.
Where did you find your musicians?
Well, I'm a backup musician, percussionist background. So this community, I'm very tight with our musicians, and our entertainment is over the top. But I have reached out because many of my friends have been songwriters, and I started this year with an idea that I've added. And we do, when our residents come into our building, we have what's called a history and profile. The more I know about your loved one, the better we can service. And I call it nuggets. That history and profile tells me what they did in life. It helps me connect them to new residents, to tie them in to where they're going to have common interest. And it helps me as I look in through my dreams, what I can dream up, what's in town, what's going on. So what I did this year is I had the history and profiles. I pulled some. And when I did the dream, I wrote down facts about their life. And I challenged some of my friends to do their songwriting, and they wrote songs about their life.
Wow.
So it is personal. They come in and they perform it live. So many of my dreams have this as part of it, where there's a song written about their loved one as something that they will have forever.
That's
forever.
So touching.
It's amazing to watch and to watch the family see this come together.
I'm sure there were tears everywhere.
Tears everywhere, but joy and happiness, and it talks about what was important in their life, what they did, what their values were. So each and every song is different, but it's put to genres of music that I like. Certain songs, just like the one that the state of Virginia did for me, Mr. Gott. We did it he was the gentleman with the ammunition plant. We had a song about his life to Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. And we called his song the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Hercules.
That's so funny.
And it was just amazing to see. But to see the family and they know the commitment. They see what goes into it and the efforts that we make. And it's just so special to see.
It's so touching, and it's so heartwarming, and it's an event they'll never forget.
They'll never
it's a
forget.
Time they'll never forget. And you've given them the mementos of it.
And the mementos. They always
Pictures.
leave. They'll always have it. I usually take in every dream over 100 photographs. And in my photo albums, I choose my favorite 24 that goes into a photo album that shows the day. But I email all of the photographs, and the family get everything from the entire day of what we've experienced.
Such a special thing, and such a special thing to partake in. I'm so thankful.
The wonderful thing to witness, too.
It really is. It's so touching. All right, Elmcroft is a beautiful assisted living facility. I'm asking my listeners, you've heard about the compassion and the care. If you've got a loved one who needs to be placed in a